Hello everyone. I'm here to talk about edge and mission critical data center products. So let's go. And I'm speaking from Europe, Germany. So over here it's almost evening already, but happy to be there. So my name is Jörgen Venot. I'm head of sales and marketing for the German data center group. We are a leading company in Germany and in Europe for planning, building, operating and maintaining data centers, from small to medium to large to hyperscale, and with a very strong technical reputation in the business. I took a few references from our general contracting business to give a better idea of who we are. So right now we are delivering phases of a hyperscale project for Vantage from the US in Frankfurt. So that's a huge project for us. So that's the kind of projects that we are able to manage and build. We did a few things for Telefonica, the telecom operator, also in Germany, in Munich. And another example, we build a lot of corporate data centers. Here, an example with Venot, which is a huge industrial company in Germany. What makes us special is that inside the group, we have a product division. And on the product division with manufacturing and engineering in Germany, we make products for edge and mission critical purposes. Our strategy is that we have a global footprint already with a focus on certain regions. And we work strongly with local partners that help us for installation, implementation, service and maintenance of the products in the different countries and geos. I'm going to talk about three main product lines. I'm going to start with the bestseller, which is the MDC, the Edge Micro Data Center, that we call IT Safe. IT Safe, well, there is a message in the name. The product is very safe, very strong, and certified. So it looks like a normal rack, but with a fortress around it. It's a whole system that is tested and certified. That's the certificate on the left. And it's made in Germany. And the purpose of this IT Safe is to protect the servers and the IT from physical risks like fire, water, gas, unauthorized access, explosion, and even some level of EMP risk, electromagnetic pulse. So it's basically a mini data center with everything inside, with redundant cooling, UPS, batteries at the bottom. At the top, you find a monitoring solution and fire suppression system. When we say that the product is very strong, very robust and tested and certified, we sacrifice a few of them to make the fire tests like here, and we match the toughest norms in the business. We also have the certificates for resistance against corrosive gas, against water, against dust. So with RC2 or RC3 on burglary protection, IP56 on water and dust, for those who know those norms. We also do an explosion test. The pictures are there, and we have videos on YouTube. And the red one is basically the one coming from our factory. And the other one is, let's say, another brand. And just to give an idea, we have some global customers, for instance, in the automotive industry. They took our products and made it part of their own compliance policy. And I think it's the strongest message that we can have, that global companies decide to take these products and make it part of their own compliance policy. And we are talking about global companies with something like 300 factories on the planet. So really strong message. This is the result of a burglary test. So the test didn't allow to penetrate. These are pictures of testing with water and so water here on the picture on the right hand side, and dust here. So we put the IT safe into quite extreme conditions, a bit like cars that are tested in the desert and on in Iceland, for instance. We really put the safe on the bench test. This is an example of the gas test and the results. And this is how it looks. So basically, it's very robust, a bit heavy because it's a fortress. So we deliver unassembled, and it's assembled on site for every project. And these are examples from real projects. This one is an industrial customer. We installed a safe into an office building. So you see the double doors on the front, allowing access for the IT guys. And we have exactly the same doors at the back for the service, for the technical service, access to UPS, to batteries, or for the maintenance of climatization, of air conditioning. Yeah. So it's really a compact data center with everything inside. Here on the left, we see it's the electrical package stick to the side. And then we have on the side or on the top of the IT safe, we have openings for cabling, piping for the air conditioning. This is an example of a project we did for a financial institution. And these guys wanted to do a core data center and the backup data center in the same building, but in two different aisles. And for both locations, they decided to take our IT safes. And as we can see on the picture, it's quite heavily loaded with servers. This one is a project we did in Frankfurt for a law firm, own design, own color, corporate color. And in this case, these are two IT safes interconnected. That's something we do a lot, either to create small units or right now, for instance, we are working on a project for a big municipality in Germany to do up to 14 safes interconnected. Obviously, in this case, we are able to optimize the space utilization, the air conditioning, and everything that's inside. So we mutualize. So the message is that the product is very modular. We can expand as the need grows. This one is a project we did for a pharmaceutical company last year. In Europe, pharmaceutical companies are classified, listed as critical for the country. So it's the same thing. They needed to put their IT into a very safe environment. And in this case, in agreement with the client, we implemented a specific solution with direct free cooling in terms of air conditioning. So that's it on the IT safe micro data center. Now I'm going to talk about the IT room. It's the second type of a product we offer from our German factory. So the IT room is basically a bit like the IT safe, a very safe, a very secure solution, but to implement full IT rooms. So into a data center, into an office building, into an industrial building. We did a lot of projects already, and it's the same principle, same idea. The product is very heavily tested and certified. So it looks like this. It's obviously an example. A lot of norms and certifications, and there is a European norm coming up in the business called EN 50600, which is at the moment the toughest norm in terms of data center design. And this norm recommends the implementation of room-in-room systems for the security, physical security of IT rooms. So as we can see on this drawing, it's a full system with wall elements, ceiling and floor elements, and robust door system. plus cable duct system, and everything is studied and designed to be fire resistant or fireproof. And every single room is certified after delivery, after installation. ECBS is the European certification body for security solutions, and these guys will certify every single room that we install. We already did projects, I think, on every continent in the last 10, 15 years. So we have the same criteria. We protect against fire, water, gas, vandalism, unauthorized access, EMP risk, explosion, noise, dust, and debris in case of explosion. I will cut this one short, but basically the idea is that the solution is totally modular. As I said, we can fit into an office building, into an industrial building. We even had cases where we implemented the solution in a live environment. Of course, it's more complicated, it's more expensive, but we can do it. And yeah, all the criteria, the fire resistance in particular, are totally certified. Yeah. This norm ECBS, according to EN 10472, is basically the strongest norm we can have on this type of product. The assembly system is also patented, so it's our own development since over 10 years, 12 years. One of the biggest advantages is that the system is fixed from the inside, so we don't lose any space between the building and the room-in-room system. As I mentioned, every room is certified, and of course we comply with the toughest quality insurance way of working. And yeah, we are regularly controlled by this kind of independent institution. So the kind of tests that are done for these products, we build a real room into the testing environment, and then in the testing environment, the product is completely burnt. So it's like a furnace, and everything is measured inside, outside, how fast the temperature will increase, and with which speed the temperature will decrease. So everything is checked, and the idea is really to make sure that we protect the IT, but also in terms of conception, for sure. When we talk about door systems, we comply with also the rules and regulations. So we have I'm not sure how you call it in English, but it's a door that allows an easy exit in case of emergency. So it's a security exit door, but from the outside, it's locked. So you cannot penetrate, but you can easily get out. These are examples of projects we did recently. This one was quite a big one for a multimedia and TV corporation in Germany, basically the national TV company, into an existing building. So that's why you see pillars. We also manage pillars with a special coverage against fire. And then we implement our room system. And for bigger rooms, we also have some steel infrastructure that we add for robustness, and also the steel infrastructure is treated against fire. These are our doors, also made in our factories, and yeah, so that's how it looks. And basically, every room is customized to the inch and to the millimeter. So we prepare every perforation for every cable tray technically, and then we go into production. So it's made in production, made in the factory, and assembled on site. This is a project we did in close to Düsseldorf. It's a customer that processes data for stock listed companies. They do invoicing for utilities. They send millions of mail for banks and stuff like this. And they conceive this IT room as a showroom at the same time. So it looks really neat. And as we can see, the room fits easily into an industrial building, even with a higher ceiling. It's no issue. And this is a project we also finalized recently. Bottom right, this very nice palace is actually the new palace for the government in Bangkok, in Thailand. And in the basement, you have the IT space, which is protected by one of our room-in-room systems. So it gives an idea of, let's say, the type of IT infrastructure that we protect, from government to military to multimedia to financial institutions to industry. So it's really all types of businesses that basically need this type of solution, any critical IT infrastructure. And this is a project we did in Germany. It's a big university and research institute. They had this space available, and we developed the solution on 2 floors. It's the same room-in-room system. And inside, it's HPC, high performance computing data center. So as you can see, also, we have experience with classic data centers, high performance, regular, let's say, colo type with a lower density per rack. And important to know also is that we have all the engineering skills in-house, from consulting, planning, architects, engineers, delivery, and obviously production. Okay. And the last product group I wanted to present are the IT containers, also called all-in-one. So it's basically containerized data center solutions. So it looks like this. Maybe some of you have already seen this kind of solution: smaller 20-foot, bigger 40-foot containers. Also with very strong USPs in terms of physical protection. That's really our core business. It's protect IT. That's really our message. Because obviously you have all the cybersecurity aspect, but there is also the physical security. And well, recently in Europe, the data center of one very strong colocation operator totally burnt, and many businesses have lost data, and this data center was not protected at all against fire. So I think a lot of people learned a lesson. The way we work is that we basically deliver a plug and play solution. So we finish the product in our factory, and we more and more do the handover in the factory. So we invite the customer, obviously when feasible. We do the training on power management, cooling management, and things that the customer needs to know. And then basically we give the keys. But obviously, in many cases, we will also travel and install on site, yeah, jointly or in coordination with our partners in the different countries. The message here also is that we do have standard products, standard versions of the containers, but we are really strong on custom made. Okay. So a bit like the room-in-room system, we can add elements for fire protection, gas protection, water, dust, and depending on the latitudes, we have to ship the containers. For instance, we have a project right now for Africa, where the containers will be close to the sea, so with a saline environment. So we will put an extra paint coating on the container to make sure that we have a long-term protection against corrosion. We prefer to put more money in quality and have less headaches on issue management. And this is a 3D view for containers when we do when we add the fire protecting elements. And basically we also have the teams, technical drawers and technicians to do custom made solutions. And very often we have customers saying, okay, we are working for a bank, for instance, they are planning additional compute power and they want to have a container that is Tier 3 compliant. And we are able to do this. So by separating technical room from IT room and stuff like this. So we have those skills and are able to really customize the solutions. We like the certificates. It's, I think, as a French guy, I can positively say about German engineering. It's really a very strong USP in many regions, and there are good reasons for this. And these are a few examples of recent projects. This one, we cannot give too many details, but it's a military project. Again, a lot of customization for obvious purposes. We cannot say much more. On the left, bottom left on the picture, we see the red button. Again, it's like a big data center, just more compact. So we have also the fire suppression system, cold corridor system, the piping here, the gray piping, it's for the VESDA system. So it's a data center in a box, basically, that we can ship anywhere. And this is a project we did for a supplier of Audi, the car manufacturer in Germany. They also needed extra compute power next to the factory. And that's a custom made design. And because they had smaller space to fit the container, we implemented these racks on small rails, which allow us to move the racks, and so the technician can walk around the racks, serve IT in the front, and manage service at the back. These are a few of our customers. Since 15 years in the business, we have done thousands of projects, but we built data centers, as I said, either through the products or through corporate data centers for companies like Adidas. Scania is the truck manufacturer. Airbus, I think, is well-known competitor of Boeing. We did projects for Telefonica, for Lear. Rewe in Germany, it's one of the top 2 retailers, 60 billion euro turnover. We did their central data center, and we did edge decentralized containerized solution for their 50 logistic centers across the country. So it shows also the level of trust we have from those big corporations when we talk about their IT infrastructure. We also do a lot of public projects for big cities like here, Bonn, Heidelberg. Heidelberg is we call it it's a university hospital. It's a huge campus, and we did the data center there as well. So that's it on the products. Dankeschön. And if you want to contact me or contact Shannon from Convergint, here are the email addresses, and we are very easy to find on LinkedIn. Yeah, so thank you, everyone.